Good afternoon and welcome. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. New York! New York City. One of the few places to live, a few places to hang out. It's like if we look at New York in a nutshell, New York is like a top five destination to see the sights. You know what I mean? It's like there's Los Angeles. There's California, there's New York, and I think those two are the most fun places to go. Now, New York, the most popular places in New York has always been Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, Staten Island. I get that. But mostly Manhattan, because Manhattan had all the lights. 42nd Street, 50th Street, Madison Square Garden, the Lincoln Center, Bryant Park, the Statue of Liberty. We could go all and on about New York and how New York is the place to be and how New York is like the place where sports are living by. Brooklyn Nets, New York Knicks, New York Rangers, New York Yankees, New York Mets. I could go on and on, all that stuff. But still, New York is the place to go, especially 42nd Street. That's Times Square. That's Times Square. Like legit, the best place is Times Square because there's Dave and Buster's. There's the M&M World on 50th Street. There's stores like I don't want to go into like H&M. There's Uniqlo and all that. Everything is just there. Oh, and there's anime stores like Kino. But the only reason I said that because we on episode 10 of Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid S. And I gotta say, Kanna and Toru was in New York. I know I'm going out bugging in a blaze of glory, but you gotta love this. Here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. I love Kobayashi Dragon Maid for what it's doing right now. To have a character like Kanna, and this was a Kanna episode, to have a Kanna episode and then go to New York. Yo! I loved it. Now, here's the thing. This episode was dedicated to Kanna. And meeting a new friend named Chloe, now another girl in Minnesota. So, yeah, I love what they're doing now to bring culture into this. Like, Japan and US, the culture of it. And this was Kanna episode, and I can't stress it out. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid S episode 10. Now, this episode is dedicated to Kanna. And Kanna got into an argument with Kobayashi, and I wish I know what it was. Because she's all like, Kobayashi, you dummy, buttface. She ran away, and she flew to New York. New York, where I was born in, like, New York. Oh my God, yo, I know I'm going hard in this review, but guys, I'm in so happy mode because Kanna was in New York. And she was in 42nd Street. I think I should, right now, just catch on the L train, because I live by the L train. Catch the L train, hop on the L, transfer to the A, and just get to 42nd Street and find her. Because I can't believe Kanna was in New York. She flew to New York. Well, I'm not surprised by the preview because the last week's preview, they show the destination she was going in. But man, she was in New York. And they had the accents, They had the American the English accent, English dialogue, And here's the thing about anime. I like characters with the English dialogue. Any character with an English dialogue, it warms my heart. It warms my heart. I mean, the person I can think of in my head is like Mari from Love Live and Chitu from Bang Dream. Yeah, you know what I mean? They are characters. Any character who's talking in English dialogue is clear, not my favorite, but man, great job. So Kanna wanted a hot dog. So she gave it he's like, oh no, we don't accept Japanese money. And I love the scenery of New York, because that's how New York is on 42nd Street. That's how it is on 42nd Street, guys. I mean, it's always busy. Cars coming by. There's arguments and whatnot. People sitting down, chilling on those steps there. I forgot the name of it, but still, They do that all the time. And then Kanna had to close her eyes, use the dialogue like this, and just figure it out what they were going to say. I mean, and use that and transfer it to Japanese. And it worked. So with Japanese, it didn't work. Now, as Kanna in the streets, in a bad area, by the way, she runs into a girl named Chloe being chased by the mafia. And she stopped them with just one poke. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, what is with dragons? What is with these dragons and just one fingering them? What is it, Tsunade style? I mean, what is with them and just one finger them? Because Elma did it. Toru did it. I'm just saying, what is with them and doing that? So they made a new girl named Chloe. And I see the jealousy that Sakawa is getting. I got the, like, you notice that anytime Kanna makes a new female friend like Chloe, in the back of your mind, you're thinking Sakawa is going to be like, she got some chills. Feeling that stuff. So yeah. So, and then she going to pay with a black card. She wanted a hot dog. She paid with, so Chloe like, okay, I'll help you. I'll pay with a black card. That's not how vendors work. Food trucks, yeah, they accept card. But on the vendors, like those hot dog stands, I see a lot. They don't like accept cards. Unless they have one of those little devices where they swipe and they do that. But no way. Some vendors do, but this one doesn't. So, you know, they went out. And what I like about this is that they actually show the places that New York has. You know, the Plaza Mall. I mean, the Plaza Hotel, Central Park, the Statue of Liberty, and Kanna skateboarding like crazy. And you know what's funny? I don't know where a skate park is. I'm being honest. I mean, because I haven't been around one in a skate park, but I know there is one. And when Kanna did a skate thing, she did a hella good job with that skateboard. No question. Because the whole thing is just, see, the about Kobayashi Dragon Maid is that every episode does have its moments. But it's those moments that teaches you a valuable lesson. Kanna's lesson is like, when you run away from your parents, it's not right. They'll get mad at you, but if you go to them and approach them and apologize, you know, they won't get mad at you. So you can't run away from your problems. That's the lesson right there. So I see, that's the thing. It tells you a lesson, and that's that. Now, when Kanna explaining to Chloe about it, Chloe get caught by the mafia, and that angered Kanna. She went into a dragon form and literally went to that place where she got captured by and destroyed the entire base of where they captured Chloe. And Chloe's like, I like how everybody screamed like, ah! Ah! Everybody is so screaming at it. And Chloe was saved by Kanna. And the fact that Chloe knows that she's a dragon now, like Sakawa is the only girl that does not know Kanna's a dragon. And I find that kind of like, wow. I can't believe it. But still, and she lives in Minnesota. She's like, where's your address? Oh, Minnesota. So, okay, Minnesota. I really want to know how they're going to do it in Minnesota. I really know. And then Kanna came back home. Kanna went back home. And she hugged Kobayashi. That was really thoughtful. That was really a warmness in my heart. That Kanna apologizes. And not yet, but at least she hugged her. Now, Toru. Toru was in New York. And the thing is, she was in the shadowy backgrounds of all. I mean, literally, the shadowest backgrounds. Because when Toru was like, I've been watching you the entire time. And I'm like, wait, so Toru was there? It's like that game, you know, Find Wally, and a little mini character you can't find. You have to use a magnifying glass to find Toru. So I love Ghetto Animation for doing that for us, to show Toru's there. She was there. And to be honest, I didn't believe it at first. So I had to take a screenshot of that photo that Toru was hiding, like the scene where she was in the park. And I had to use that to say, okay, where's Toru? Let me go back to the episode and see. She was actually freaking there. Oh my gosh. She's been there the entire time. Wow. Now again, before I get to the second half of the episode, but still, it's like, guys, I love what they do. They're doing our biggest dreams of all time. What if Toru was in New York? How would you respond? If Kanna was in New York, if Elma, Lokua, Lulu, Fafnir, if all those dragons, if all of the characters from Dragon Maid appeared in New York, what would y'all do? Take photos? Ride them, you know, they dragons. But still, that will be the dream of all things. And I am so hyped. Notice I'm going all hyped because, damn, they really did a good job in this episode. Now, the second half. Again, this is dedicated to Kanna. You know, Kanna's doing her homework because of summer break. You know, when you have summer vacation, you get summer homeworks. And some people like ourselves back in the days as kids didn't want to do summer homework, but we had to do it anyway. So she did her summer homework. She spilled juice on her homework, and she tried to use her electricity power to use the blow dry the homework. Really cute, by the way. And it really is telling like the hottest day, like really is so freaking hot. I think they're doing this because fall is around the corner, and thank God of fall coming. But still looking forward to that. So the second half was about Kanna and Kobayashi having a good time, and Kanna and Kobayashi, you know, again, we get to see the adventures of Kanna and Kobayashi together. When I see Kanna and Kobayashi together walking, you know, looking at all the sewers and all that, you know, going out food shopping, you know, it's like looking at a mother and daughter. Just by looking at it, they're just a mother and daughter segment. And that's what we're getting. And then, when it rained, we did it again, y'all. Yo, I love they doing the reference from season 1. You know that video on YouTube is like 10 hours? I think it's an hour of Kanna in the rain. She's like, monte, 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 monte. In the rain. Like in the rain scene with her umbrella. So I'm like, oh man, they did it again. Rain, 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 rain. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be an hourly video as well. I'm counting on it. And it was so cute, you know, seeing the life of Kanna and Kobayashi walking together like mother and daughter. It was really a nice way to go in this episode, really. And like I said, this episode was dedicated to Kanna because you got Elma's episodes, her episodes, and Lulu has episodes, and this one does. So yeah, I really like this episode. I really do. Now, here's the thing. We all know how this works. You know, in every episode of Kobayashi, we have seen a lot slice of life moments, fan service moments, comedy moments, references. But you guys know that when it comes to these episodes, when they get close to the end, something bad is gonna happen. And next week's preview episode is gonna be that. So I don't know how it's gonna be based on what I saw in the preview, but we all know where this is gonna go, and we gotta see forward with it. But like I said, overall, episode 10 was really freaking good. I mean, again, Kanna in New York, Toru in New York. If all of them 4 was in New York, I would have dreamed it for a lifetime. That's the best way to go. Again, this episode is really good. Kanna met a new friend and outside of Japan now, like someone in New York, place that I grew up in, place I'm born and raised, like New York. And, you know, met a new friend named Chloe, so now she got a foreign friend. And, you know, the thing is, and we're not looking at this, after 2 seasons of Kobayashi Dragon Maid, Kanna is very, very dependable. Like, she's very independent. Even at an age like this, she is very, very, very independent. And that's one thing we can never take away from Kanna. That's one thing we never take away. Sure, Kanna has, sure people like Kanna as a daughter/sister. I see Kanna as a daughter material. Yeah, I see Kanna as daughter material, but man, Kanna did her thing in this episode, and I'm very proud of her stepping up, made a new friend, you know, learning, you know, exploring New York. Like everyone's there, like these tour, like in New York, if you go those tour buses, but still, that's the way to go. So, I look forward for next week's episode of Kobayashi Dragon Maid S, and I'm sure everyone is looking forward to it, because even though the episode's coming towards the end, we can't wait to see it. But again, episode 10 is really by far a great episode because it's in New York, and born and raised in New York myself is really something. So tune in next week for another episode of Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid S review, and I'll see you soon.